Thank you all. Oh, thank you. It is great to be back at this conference, and I'm excited about all the things that we're doing together. This marks the 50th Annual KACo Conference. Congratulations to the team here at KACo. That is 50 years of bringing people together, of sharing ideas, of trying to make sure that we all learn that one extra thing that helps us deliver more for our people. This also marks my 5th year as governor, and I think I've said a comment like this pretty often. Everybody has something now that you can be excited about. You can either be excited about the fact that I have 3 years and 30 days left in my term, or you can be excited that I only have 3 years and 30 days left in my term. But one of the best parts of my tenure for me as governor is the work that we've done together, is making sure that we turn down the noise and turn down the temperature, that we push all the other stuff aside, and that we move forward together and succeed for our people. You know, I look out and I see a room full of leaders who are essential to Team Kentucky, and together we have created historic success over these last 5 years. I say together because these things that we do are team sports. And at the end of the day, when we do our jobs right, when we do them correctly, they lift everybody up, regardless of political party, regardless of ideology. Together, we've broken every economic development record in the books. We've now secured over 1,000 new location and expansion projects for a record $33 billion of private sector investment in Kentucky and private sector investment in us for both you and me. That is a record for any governor. That's a record for any 5-year period. Congratulations on making history here in Kentucky. We love that investment because it creates jobs. And right now, what we've seen are really good jobs for our people. I just started my day in Muhlenberg County, and I know the judge and the magistrates just made it up. We cut the ribbon on a brand new hangar that they've put in their airport because Madisonville Community College runs a program to train pilots and soon aviation mechanics there. It's created jobs directly in their community, and that $3+ million hangar is now going to train so many of our Western Kentucky families. Congratulations to y'all in Muhlenberg. I think about the fact that that's how we've gotten to where we are, with now, to our credit, 56,000 new jobs and counting every single day. We're going to have an announcement this Friday that'll knock your socks off. It'll be the 3rd biggest jobs announcement since I became governor. We're not just breaking records in economic development, we're breaking them in tourism as well. 2022 was our best year ever for tourism in Kentucky until 2023. 2023 saw $13.8 billion in economic impact from tourism and the sustaining of more than 95,000 Kentucky jobs. That means we had record-breaking years for our people in back-to-back years. And while it's just early November, I can already tell you 2024 will be the best year for tourism in the history of Kentucky, meaning we'll have broken those records in back-to-back years. You know, the best thing about all these wins is seeing our neighbors, seeing the members of your community to not just survive, but to thrive. We see our communities all across Kentucky with optimism, and we see them transforming in front of our eyes. And we know the future that we are building is brighter for your kids and for mine. For the first time that I can remember, the rest of the world is looking up to Kentucky instead of looking down on us. They see that Kentucky businesses are winning and that our families are thriving. They all want to know the secret to our success. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to tell them. But the secret is how we work together, of putting aside Democrat, Republican, of putting aside left and right, and figuring out the best ways that we move forward together. I think about the areas that we all know that we can work on because they're not political at all, but they're also the things that people worry about when they wake up in the morning. When people wake up in the morning, they're not thinking about their party or politics. They're thinking about their job and whether they make enough to support their family. They're thinking about the next doctor's appointment and the cost of the next prescription for themselves or their parents or their kids. They're thinking about the roads and bridges they're going to drive that day, how safe they are, what's traffic look like today. They're thinking about the public school they drop their kids off at, and they're thinking about public safety in their communities. When we focus, when we address these types of issues, we lift everyone up, we leave no one behind, and we improve life for every single family. And as you all know, if you're a parent that's worried, if they are making enough money to both afford that prescription and put food on the table, you don't get anything else. And that's why it's so important that we continue to work on these things together. Leaders here work in fields of both economic development and in tourism. And when we think about the fact that we have just broken every record on each, I think we've just begun. I think with everything going on in Kentucky, I just came from Blue Oval SK, where they've now hired 750 people, and they just had employees go into the first manufacturing facility to begin work for the first time yesterday. What we're seeing is this is our time. This is our time not just to have these wins, but to tell our story. Now is our time to reintroduce ourselves to the world, to leave behind the stereotypes of the past and to be able to market ourselves and your community as that place that next generation business, as that place that talented individual bringing their family for employment in Kentucky, as that place where someone wants to come and see the tourist attraction, or that place where people look at the lifestyle, at the parks, at the new project on Main Street, and say, man, I'd really like to be a part of that. Now is the time to talk about how Kentucky is a world-class destination where business and speed to market are fast, but the pace of life is just right. I think that's something a lot of businesses and families are looking for when they are looking for a new place to call home. And we're going to work together to make sure that we know folks out there know that Kentucky is the best place to make their home. So yesterday, I was proud to announce a new initiative for Team Kentucky, one that I think can work in every part of our Commonwealth, called our New Kentucky Home. Our New Kentucky Home is a comprehensive marketing initiative that will reintroduce you to the world. It'll combine economic development, workforce, and tourism initiatives, recognizing the crucial role that quality of life plays in driving growth across our state. Through consistent messaging and marketing, we invite others to join us by moving their family to their new Kentucky home, or making their businesses new Kentucky home, or encouraging tourists to come see what we've got going on in our new Kentucky home. Because that is our main goal, to increase economic investment, to attract and retain talent, and to increase tourism across Kentucky. What we have a chance to do is to take our pride in how much we love this state, and how much we love our home, and unleash that energy to the world with an invitation to come join us. At a time when we've been number 3 last year in per capita economic development, number 2 the year before, we've got to tell our story in this window to continue this growth and to make sure that the growth creates prosperity and creates it in every single part of our state. What you'll see from us is a wide variety of efforts, including a new website for the Cabinet for Economic Development, testimonials from Kentuckians and new businesses, digital assets to new graphics that are available for you, your economic development groups, your tourist groups, however creative that you want to be able to say, come make my county your new Kentucky home. We get to talk about how Kentucky is the place that is creating that bright future, and at a time when business is no longer thinking they need to move to the coasts. Now is each of our best times to try to first bring somebody in for that great tourism opportunity, but then convince them that they want to stay. This is an effort for us to be able to show our lifestyle. For somebody who might search for something in your county, to be able to see what it's like to live there, what it's like to work there, to get information on the new businesses that have moved there, to see all of the positive momentum that you have. A type of initiative where we let people really see why we love this Commonwealth and why they would grow to love it too. New Kentucky Home speaks to all 120 counties and the opportunities available across our state and our quality of life and more. I think about it this way. In the past, if somebody got online to search, say, Cumberland Falls, they would see Cumberland Falls and maybe have a couple other links. But somebody looking at Cumberland Falls might also now be directed to Lake Barkley. They would see local restaurants and shops, the new changes to the park, what we're doing in our downtowns, a way of giving somebody an immersive experience when they reach out about Kentucky that shows them so much more. I'll tell you, if you can't tell, I'm pretty excited about the opportunities. I'm pretty excited about the opportunities for all of us to be able to lift up our community. So we brought a video today. Take a look and see if you're excited too. Kentucky, we're moving forward together. Our businesses are winning and our families are thriving. Because Kentucky is a place where business is fast, but the pace of life is just right. We found the way to create a brighter future by working together, by leading with our values of kindness and hard work. Now, we're looking at a new Kentucky, one where good jobs and a good life are possible for everyone. Y'all interested? We don't blame you. So come explore your new Kentucky home. I hope that does have you a little fired up, or as Rocky says, fired up and ready to go. Because this point we're at, we've come so far, we've done so much, but we've got to keep pushing. Right now, what I see is a window of opportunity like none I've ever seen, with more businesses investing more money, an opportunity where people are looking at us more so than I've ever seen them do in the past, and our job has to be to scoop up as much of it for Kentucky as possible. Now, when you become term limited, you start thinking about legacy a little bit, and very quickly, all the Democrat or Republican stuff goes out the window. It's, are we gonna leave our home better than we found it? How many new jobs can we create? How much more opportunity can we create for a Kentucky child to dream as big as they want to? And to be able to chase that dream, not just in this state, but in the region that they're from. We had an official from One East Kentucky talk about how he thinks he can use this initiative to talk about bringing people to or keeping people in Eastern Kentucky, where we have to stop the depopulation and drive new jobs and new opportunity. We have a chance to do this at a time when we have projects going on all over the Commonwealth and in each and every one of your communities that we can brag about. Think about what we're doing in our high schools in career and technical education, an investment of $240 million where we are directly connecting that curriculum and training to businesses in your community so that you know that every graduating senior can either go on to further education or has a job waiting for them right after that they are trained to do. Think about the mega projects that we're moving forward right now that they said couldn't be done. Thanks to an enormous federal grant, we are absolutely going to build that Brent Spence Companion Bridge without tolls in northern Kentucky. There you go. I know where Boone County is. We're the Mountain Parkway, we just got a significant additional federal grant which unlocked additional money that was in our budget. It's going to be tight. But I want to see the complete 4-laning of the Mountain Parkway before I'm done being governor. It is time to get that project done. And then we look at the I-69 project where we have seen significant advancement of it. I was just on the phone before I walked in with Governor-elect Mike Braun. We committed to working together on that to get that project done. That's going to unlock different portions of Western Kentucky and parts of Indiana to even more investment. And you see it coming. I mean, the number of announcements that we are seeing from the Ascend plant in Hopkinsville to the plant in Bell County that's going to make some of the sturdiest body armor for our troops, and hopefully that project will double. We finally see jobs coming to people instead of expecting people to move to those jobs. But I think this initiative is that next step, because we know that we've got good incentives. We know the great work that you all do, because none of these projects locate without knowing they got a great county judge and they got a great fiscal court that fully supports them. Every single one of these projects that have landed, you ought to be proud of, because every single one of them that I've talked to has talked about their local support and how important that was, and that they feel it more in Kentucky than in other places. But this is that chance, especially with that business we want to move and bring that whole headquarters. You know, the idea of the decision maker moving their family and how we show them the biggest, best, most robust picture we can of how great of a place that Kentucky is. We have more eyes on us right now than I ever thought was possible, and this initiative, I hope that you'll grab. I hope that you'll make it your own. I hope you'll get excited about it and think about how you'll talk about all the good things that are going on in your community. Because everything we do to improve our home and the place that we love makes it a more attractive home for everyone else that's looking at it. And I can tell you, the feedback that I'm getting from a CEO who's looking at moving their headquarters from Miami to Kentucky, said he was at a picnic with his employees. And the thing that stuck with him is his employees in Kentucky, because he pays a good wage, all have their own homes. And he wanted to be a part of that. Our lifestyle, plus the sophisticated businesses that we have and that we're moving here, our ability for logistics and the infrastructure we're investing in, from water and sewer to broadband to these major projects to making sure our rural roads are safer every single day. These are the types of investments that are so attractive for everyone out there. So my goal is to continue to tell our story on a national and an international stage, and if all of us are telling a little bit of the same story, all in our own way, just think about how much we can do. And let me give a huge compliment to y'all and how you work together. And when I came into this job, I was told that if we announced a project in this county, the judges in other counties might be a little upset. And that's not what I've seen at all. I've seen more regional cooperation, and I've seen it grow. We've seen our KPDI applications get better and better and better as counties come together on it. We've seen joint projects on water and on sewer. We've seen interlocal agreements to be able to apply services that much better and more efficiently. I mean, you all have broken the mold on showing the rest of the Commonwealth, but showing the rest of the country how cooperation, especially with our closest neighbors, can lift everybody up, and it has resulted in more grants from the federal government, more opportunities to invest than I think we have seen in a really long time. So I'll close by saying, I think we have something really special going, both in what's happening in Kentucky and how we're all going about our jobs. I look forward in these next 3 years and 30 days to making sure that we continue this momentum, that we don't slow down and that we don't trip ourselves up. While the rest of the country is fighting and the rest of the country seems really divided, that's not what I see in Kentucky. Yes, there are political differences, but I see us working together regardless of our political party, or not even talking about our political party. I see us taking advantage of these opportunities and all working together to reach out to the best contacts to secure that next grant that's out there. And it may be the thing that I've loved seeing, especially this last year, is I see so much hope and optimism in our state when our country has this cloud of pessimism or division that seems to hang over it. So folks, I'm excited. I'm excited to be here again at KACo, and again, happy 50th birthday, at least to the KACo Conference. But what an incredible example that KACo has set about cooperation and how it has evolved and gotten even better in recent history. This new Kentucky Home Initiative, I hope, gives you the next tool, working with us or on your own, to make that next pitch, but more importantly, to get that next commitment, to get that next family that moves. Let's make sure we show the rest of the world how much we love this state and how much they'll love it too. Thank you all very much. God bless.